Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Time for Change. It's once again a privilege and an honor for us to be with you tonight. This is already, can you believe it, the 8th episode of Time for Change. This weekend we are on camp here in Hermanus in the beautiful forest of the Overberg Training Institute camp. And we are honored to host young ladies from Hawston and Hermanus here in the Overstrand in the Western Cape. So please, can you ask young people to tune in and follow us tonight on this program? I believe God is gonna change young people's lives tonight through the testimonies of young ladies from this area. Young ladies who had difficult upbringings, young ladies who went through a lot of challenges, but they believe that there is hope, doesn't matter where you come from. So welcome everyone, and it is our sincere belief tonight that God is going to inspire young people to know that it is time for change. So I would want firstly tonight to introduce my guest, these beautiful flowers of the Lord, these pretty young ladies from this beautiful area in Hermanus in the Western Cape. So please, ladies, can you introduce yourself?
Ek is Keren David, ek is graad 10, ek is op Hawston Secondary School.
Wow, welcome to the program.
Ek is Tracy Matroos, ek is graad 9, ek live in Hermanus in Pleasant.
Ek is Kizia Jefta, ek is van Hawston, ek is graad 8A.
Ek is Rene Benjamin, ek is van Pleasant Hermanus, ek is in graad 11.
Ek is Kylen Lee Isaacs, graad 10A en ek is van Hawston.
So we have these beautiful young ladies all the way from the Overstrand here, 120 km from Cape Town in South Africa. And we are so honored to have them with us tonight, since yesterday, and they will even stay till tomorrow on this camp, where we've been introducing to them all these youth development programs that we are hosting once in a while here on this camp on behalf of Time for Change. And we believe that their lives has been inspired this weekend. We believe that God has touched their lives, because we've learned this weekend that your real life is in the future. So, ek het 'n vraag vanaand vir julle jong dogters. My vraag is, vandag se kinders, hulle is baie stout. Was julle al ooit stout?
Ja, baie, maar ons daar geleer uit.
So, jy was al baie stout.
Ja, baie.
Ja.
Baie.
Ja, en die ander, was julle al ooit stout?
Ja, ek was stout, maar uit al my foute het ek geleer en as jy te laat om uit jou foute te leer as jy...
So met ander woorde wat jy vanaand vir ons sê, is dat jy was al baie stout en jy het foute gemaak, maar jy het geleer uit jou foute. Praise die Here. En die res, wat sê julle? Was julle al ooit stout of julle die soet kinders van Hawston en Hermanus?
Ek was al baie stout, maar ek het baie geleer en ek het 'n baie streng pa en hy help my altyd.
Is dit pragtig.
Ek was al baie stout en ek het vir myself gesê dat ek kan altyd oorgaan om vir ander mense te leer.
So met ander woorde, jy was stout, maar jy sê jy kan altyd jou foute weer regmaak en jy kan weer oorprobeer. Wow, so ladies and gentlemen, these young ladies, all of them are saying yes, they have their own challenges. They were naughty in many cases, but they've learned through their mistakes. They've learned through all these errors that they've committed in their lives. So, my vraag ook vanaand aan julle jong dogters, dat sekerlik om jong vandag te wees is nie maklik nie. Daar is baie uitdagings, baie slangetjies in die gemeenskap wat 'n mens wil pik. Veral vir jong dogters. Ek weet daar is baie probleme. Baie jong dogters word swanger. Baie jong dogters loop vandag met verwyte rond, met seerkry. So my vraag vanaand aan julle is, watter tipe uitdagings is daar in julle gemeenskap? Of spesifiek vir julle jong mense?
Ja, is baie uitdagings daar buite, maar wat ek uit spesifiek geleer het is you must have faith in yourself. Jou toekoms is lê voor vir jou, alles lê voor vir jou. Jy moet net glo in wat God in jou geplaas het.
Pragtig, pragtig. So stem mee saam, daar is baie uitdagings hier in julle gemeenskap. Watter tipe uitdagings? Gee my voorbeelde. Julle bly mos daar op die grond tussen die mense. Wat se toetse is daar vir julle? Wat se uitdagings is daar? Wat se probleme is daar in die gemeenskap?
Drugs en smokkelary en swangerskap en so voort.
En so voort. Het jy al sulke dinge gesien? Watter tipe uitdagings is daar in jou omgewing?
Baie gangsterisme, verkrachting, selfmoord.
Wow. Hierdie is ernstige uitdagings wat rondom julle plaasvind, né? Ek glo, I believe tonight, it is not about things that is happening around you, but the most important thing to know is what are you allowing to happen inside of you. So daar is baie dinge wat rondom julle aangaan. Wat se uitdagings is daar in die gebied waar jy groot word?
As baie mishandeling vind plaas, selfs in huisgesinne.
In die huisgesinne self.
Selfs op skole, maar daar's baie kinders wat dit nie sal uitwys nie. Hulle sal dit altyd wegsteek en hulle word wel geboelie, maar niemand sal weet nie wanneer hulle hou stil, hulle is bang, hulle word seer gemaak as hulle dalk help vir haar.
Ja. So there's a lot of challenges for these young people. We expect them to succeed in life. We expect them to outgrow their challenges, but it's difficult for young people, especially here in South Africa with all these challenges. But tonight we have young people who says there is hope for young people. There is always hope for young people. And tonight, ek het 'n vraag vanaand, weer eens, wat ek wil byvoeg vanaand vir julle. Ek wil vir julle vra, julle was nou hierdie naweek hier op die kamp. Ek weet dit is koud hierdie tyd van die jaar in die boskamp. En julle het nou gisteraand hier geslaap en julle het lekker die program die 2 dae gehad. Het julle daarom iets geleer hier op die kamp? Wat het julle geleer? Enigiets wat julle geleer het?
Ek het geleer, jy moet nooit bang wees nie, jy moet altyd positief wees en jy moet nooit jou toekoms agter sit vir goede wat nie belangrik is vir jou nie. Jy moet altyd goede wat belangrik is vir jou vooruit sit en dit wat nog kom kan maar kom, maar jou toekoms is belangrik.
Jou toekoms is belangrik. Pragtig.
Ek het selfs geleer dat jy moet jou verlede vergeet wat gebeur het en wat ek eintlik ook geleer om jouself lief te hê.
Jy moet jouself lief hê. Wow, dis pragtig.
Ek het geleer, soos wat pastor gesê het en toe ons die tanges is gehoord, het pastor gepraat van 'n mens se mind en die
ja, jou gedagtes,
ja, en die wat sy so diep wegsteek.
Ja.
En toe ons nou hier in die bos geloop het, gisteraand.
Ja.
En ek moet toe alleen loop en toe kan ek onthou wat het ek so diep agter, dis hoekom ek so reageer het soos wat ek gereageer het.
Jy het uiting gegee.
Ja, en dis hoekom ek so baie gehuil het.
Prys die Here, so jy het besef dat daar is goed wat weggesteek was in jou gedagtes en jy het begin besef, maar hierdie goed moet gehanteer word en jy het uiting gegee daaraan. Dis baie pragtig, hoor. Wat het jy hierdie naweek geleer hier op die kamp?
Ek het geleer dat jou toekoms as vir jou en verhoudings as jy deel van jou toekoms is, dit is net om jou toekoms terug te hou vir jouself.
So met ander woorde, jy het geleer eerste dinge eerste.
Ja.
Wow, prys die Here. So die boyfriends en hulle moet eintlik wag. Nee, hulle moet eintlik wag want hulle is later in die ry. So wat is die belangrikste? Wat moet voor in die ry wees? Wat het julle agtergekom? Wat is vir julle belangrik in die lewe?
Jou toekoms.
Jou toekoms, jy moet bou aan jou toekoms, nee. Nou, het julle enige advies vir ander jong dogters? Maak nie saak waar hulle bly reg oor die wêreld nie. Dinge wat julle miskien geervaar het, foute wat julle gemaak het en wat julle nou hierdie naweek besef het, maar dit is nie nodig om 'n hartseer lewe te hê nie. Dis nie nodig om in pyn te lewe nie. Dis nie nodig om vol verwyte te loop en van jouself sleg te dink nie. Jy kan weer oorbegin. So, as daar enigiets wat julle vir ander kinders vanaand kan raad gee? Enige een?
Ek het die naweek geleer dat daar altyd lig is vir jou en dat jy moet geloof het in die Here.
Wow, daar's altyd lig beskikbaar. Dit bly nie altyd donker nie, daar kom weer lig. En ja, wat wil jy vir jong mense sê?
Vir jong kinders, ek wil sê, is altyd beter as jy vorentoe kyk en nie agtertoe nie. Daar sal mense wat vir jou afkraak, mense sal negatiewe dinge van jou sê, maar al dinge gaan op jou knieë want die Here is jou enigste uitweg en alpraat mense wat van jou die Here is jou enigste uitweg.
Wow, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Wil jy nog byvoeg vanaand?
Ja, ek wil net sê dat die jong, ons almal is jong en uniek, dat ons moet self na ons liggaam kyk, want dit is baie spesiaal.
Jou liggaam is baie spesiaal en jy is aangestel as 'n sekuriteitswag vir jou eie liggaam.
Yes,
Jy moet jou eie liggaam oppas, want wie gaan dit oppas as jy dit nie doen nie? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so honored and I'm so impressed and I'm so inspired by these beautiful young ladies. Ladies who realized this weekend that God created them with a purpose. God created them in His image. En hulle het baie hoop vir die toekoms. Dit maak nie saak of hulle waar hulle groot geword het nie. Dit maak nie saak wie hulle ouers was nie. God het hulle gemaak. God het 'n plan met elkeen van hulle se lewe. En ek wil vanaand vir julle baie dankie sê dat julle saam met my op hierdie program was. Julle is baie brawe dogters. Ek glo dat die Here gaan vir julle gebruik tot eer van sy naam. Almal wat hierdie program gaan kyk, gaan geïnspireer wees, gaan gemotiveer wees om ook te sê, ek wil die Here 'n kans gee in my lewe. Ek wil 'n verskil in my lewe ervaar. Mag die Here julle seën en geniet julle jong dae. Die Bybel sê, dink aan jou Skepper in die dae van jou jonkheid, voordat die ongelukkige dag gaan kom. So die Here sê, dankie dat julle saam met my was vanaand, hoor. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's always hope for young people. Young people are challenged with a lot of challenges. And we've learned on this weekend camp, we've learned that especially young daughters, they are challenged with all these various challenges coming and flowing from the communities. There's a lot of turmoil in our communities, hidden snakes that are after these young people's lives. But there is hope for young people. There is grace from God for young people. There is always another chance for young people, irrespective the errors that you've made, irrespective the wrong pathways you took. You can always return back to God. You can always trust the Lord for a breakthrough. You can always ask the Lord for forgiveness. You can always come back to Jesus and say, Lord, I have sinned against you. Give me another chance. So I've been on this camp this weekend with these young, beautiful ladies, young ladies who are at risk, young ladies who had a lot of challenges in their young life. Some of them has been bruised and battered through the storms of life. And these young ladies, they are hopeful, they are persevering, they are pulling through, they are saying to themselves, irrespective of where I come from, irrespective of what I've experienced, irrespective of who disappointed me, who left me, I have a future. My real life is in the future. So I've once again realized today that in South Africa, there's a lot of hope for young ladies. There's a lot of hope for young children. There is hope for South Africa. When I see and when I talk to these young ladies and these young people, I realized this weekend that these young people need support. They need help. They need motivation. They need adults to cover them, to protect them and to guide them and to lead them. And this is why we have these camps here in Hermanus, where we try to influence young people, where we try to motivate them, encourage them, and show them the way, irrespective of who your parents are, irrespective of where your parents are. There is help for everyone. So I have another guest with me tonight, a friend of my ministry here in Hermanus, a person who is very dear to me. He's a very experienced youth development person, and I'm honored to introduce to you tonight, all the way from Onrus River here in Hermanus, Graham. Welcome to the program, Graham.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's really a privilege being here.
Yes.
I love coming to this place because it gets my spirit working.
Wow.
I really feel happy about being here, and I get energized giving out. And
Wow.
it's almost like I receive at the same time. And
Praise-
that's really good. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. So we have these camps here in Hermanus in the forest, where we take people out of their normal cultural background and we bring them back into nature, and we remind them that God is the creator of the universe. And when God created human beings, God had a purpose with each and everyone's lives. When God created anything, He always decided why He wanted to create it and what He wanted to create it. And then He talks to the material that needs to produce and needs to give it. And that material or that thing gives whatever God said it must produce. So when God wanted to make a whale, He speaks to the water, to the sea. And then He speaks to the sea, and He instructs the sea to say, let there be a whale, and the sea must give the whale. When God wanted to create plants and trees, like you see all over here, God spoke to the dirt, God spoke to the ground and said, let there be trees. And the ground and the dirt needed to produce whatever God spoke. But what is very interesting for me is when God wanted to create mankind, when God wanted to create Adam, He didn't speak to dirt. He didn't speak even to the sea or even to the skies. God spoke to Himself. God said, let us make man into our own image. So, Graham, I would want you firstly to introduce yourself, please, sir.
Okay. Well, my name's Graham Lahood. I live in Hermanus. I come from Johannesburg. I moved here about 10 years ago. And I love this place. I'm an electrician. That's how I make my money. But this is my passion, being with children, being with people. I've been in this kind of field for the last 30-something years.
Wow.
Just doting around children and being with them all the time. And I really love it.
Yeah, you are such a natural. You are such a natural when it comes to these kids, and especially all these camps that we have. Graham normally does the things that I'm not willing to do. So Graham, you are quite a blessing to the ministry, quite a blessing to all the programs that we're having here in camp. So my question to you tonight, I know you've been involved in youth development for the last 30 years, you say. So my question to you is, what motivated you to do this?
What motivated me was the fact that I was a mess as a child, and my life was a horrible state. When I was about 5 years old, I could curse that I didn't even understand the words that I was saying.
Wow.
Until someone, when I was a teenager, took me in and looked at me and spent time with me, developing me. And because of the input that happened in my life when I was a teenager, it changed the way I looked at life, and it changed who I became. God done a healing work through a couple of people that invested into my life.
So there was mentorship coming into your life.
That's correct. As a teenager, and it basically grew and grew and grew until I felt that what I'm getting, I can give out.
Yes.
And the last couple of years, God's inspired me that I should be a father to many people.
Wow.
And that's the calling that I feel in my life, is just to father people in a way
it's so important.
That's just developed by love.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our program. For those who have tuned in, we are here in Hermanus, in the forest, and we're having camps here. And we bring in young leaders, we bring in young people, especially people and young people at risk, and we try to help them, support them, and become mentors and fathers for them in this hurting world. There's so many help needed. And one of the greatest needs for us as a community today is people, our children need fathers. There's so many fathers who left their children. There's so many hurting children, especially these daughters that were here this afternoon and this weekend. There's a lot of them crying out for fathers to hug them and to be with them. So Graham, I have a question for you. My question is that what do you focus when you're here on camp or in camp with these young people? What is your core focus? What are you focusing on?
Well, I believe that we're all a mess. So I don't focus on the mess. I focus on the healer, and on love. And I just choose when I'm here to love the children to the extent that because it's really coming from my heart. I really care for them, and I want to see them develop. And I believe this weekend is a weekend for healing.
Yes.
And I've just sensed God was working in each and every person's life as we've just loved them and brought them through a whole lot of stages, that there's been healing from the start until now.
That's right, yes. I've seen so many young ladies this weekend crying because they were hurting because of many, many things that went wrong in their lives. And this weekend I just saw the hand of the Lord touching these young ladies. And many of them are changed women. This weekend they've once again realized that no one is a mistake. No one is here without a reason. God has purpose in everyone's life. And I was so amazed how they were opening themselves up, how they were actually helping the process of healing within themselves. Because many times hurting people, they close down and they don't want to speak out. But these young ladies, they were speaking and they were opening themselves up. So Graham, in terms of these ladies that were with us this weekend, some of them has been abused, some of them has been left, has been abandoned, some of them were removed from their families. So I would want to know from you, what did you see this weekend in these young kids? What did you see in them? What did you experience as you were spending time with them?
I've just sensed the heart of God is, I accept you, I receive you. I feel God embracing them, and God is using us as an instrument to embrace the hearts of these children.
Yes.
I see it's a time for growth, a time to set vision, a time to change the way they think about themselves, change the way that they feel about life, and to embrace it.
Yes.
I think if we embrace the difficulties, because there's challenges in life, and we've done a lot of challenges this weekend where we've walked in the dark and we've overcome obstacle and we walked alone in the dark, and because we've got to be courageous in life and we've got to overcome these challenges. That's and right. I believe it's a time now that's a start that will just grow and grow as they overcome these little challenges that are protected and in a safe environment, that they will grow in their own life and learn to adapt that into their lifestyle.
So many of these young ladies, they feel that they've been abandoned, that church didn't help them, families didn't help them, even schools didn't help them. There was this outcry, and it was showing, and it was actually, they were acting out of through their behavior. They were acting out how they felt. And many of us, we do not understand why there's so many misbehavior amongst young people. Because this weekend we've been focusing on the soul life. So many times we want to focus on the spirit, but the spirit is fine because the spirit is the connector to God.
Yeah.
And the other side of life, we have the flesh. The flesh is not a problem because we could get them here on the camp. Their flesh was here. The real problem is the soul life. This is the place, and this is the corridors where the will is residing, and where the emotions are residing, as well as where the mind is residing. So we've been trying to help them understand how to think and how you can work with your mind. The mind is a very powerful thing.
For certain.
We've realized this week, and as we were speaking about the mind, some of these girls were crying. They were opening up.
They were. The mind is like where all our battles are faced.
Yes.
And because if we accept who we are, and if we accept these battles, that they're common to everyone, we don't think it's just us that are going through it. When we realize it's not just us, it's everybody goes through the same sort of battles. And then they overcome them.
Yes.
So they don't feel alone. And this is what we're trying to bring out, that they don't feel alone.
They don't feel alone. They don't feel isolated.
Yeah. And then they can actually deal with the situation that they're in, instead of just hiding behind closed doors or hiding away from the issue that's really affecting their life.
Yes. So this weekend we have realized that as we were dealing with these issues pertaining these young ladies, we've realized that the devil, he doesn't attack our hands and our feet. He attacks our mind. He tries to colonize our mind. He tries, because the devil doesn't have to put you in chains. He just has to chain your mind, and then he has you. And through these programs, we've tried to motivate these young people to work with their mind and to understand how the mind works, and to understand that it's their responsibility to get their will in line with God's will. So Graham, once again, I'm so blessed to have you as a facilitator here with us at camp. My final question to you tonight, Graham, is the first night of every camp, we have this wow activity here at the camp. Tell the viewers what is, because everyone, when they leave this camp, they can't stop talking about this. What is happening on Friday nights after 9 on this camp?
Well, on Friday nights after 9, we go on a night walk where we take all the lights out and we walk in the forest among the trees. It's pretty safe, but it's really challenging on young people's minds, and the whole objective of this is that they would learn to overcome.
Yes.
Overcome the darkness, overcome fears, overcome challenges in life, because that life is full of things that attack our mind, but they're not really true. And if we learn how to overcome them, so basically walk through the night.
Yes.
And then we get
with no lights.
With no lights. And then what we do, we climb up into a tree house and we have a look at the stars, and we lie down and we just look at the stars and we look at the trees swinging around while we're climbing up. So everything we do is new for these children. And then after that, we go on what we call the lifeline, where each child has to walk on their own
through the forest
for about 250 meters in the dark, over branches, around trees.
So there's a lot of fear that needs to be overcome.
And there's a lot of fear that gets overcome. It's so powerful. But before they walk, I just speak into their life, and I just speak life, healing. Tell them how beautiful they are. Tell them that they're precious. Tell them that they're beautiful.
Wow.
And this is received. There's something that happens when you just give simply to people in love.
That's right.
A powerful thing happens and the heart gets changed.
Wow.
And for me, the greatest thing that I feel is if God accepts me and God accepts each and every one of you, who can not accept you? If God receives me, if God accepts you, no one else has a right to reject you.
That's right.
And I feel if we reject people, we're rejecting what God has accepted.
That's right. And grace is proportional. The more grace you sow, the more grace you will receive. So thanks a million, Graham, for being with me on the program tonight. It's always an honor to spend time with you. I always learn a lot of things in your presence.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and everyone for being with us on the program tonight. We've broadcast here from Hermanus, out of the forest, where we have these camps with young people and up and coming leaders, and where we embrace the life of young people and trying to mentor young people in becoming what God intended them to be. And we, as once again this weekend, we had this awesome experience with young daughters in this area, spending time with them, sharing with them the gospel of Jesus Christ, and making them understand that God loves you irrespective of who you are or where you come from. So thanks for being with us tonight on Time for Change, and we want to thank each and everyone for contributing towards this program. We want to encourage people to partner with us. We use this money to bring young people to the camp. We use this money even to go from town to town and to talk this message of Time for Change. So thank you everyone for supporting us. We have the program. We have here on the program, on the screen, we have our banking details, and we would want you to support this program, and we want you to support our dream and our vision to share the gospel of Jesus Christ in a different way. And we want to thank each and every viewer from all over the country and the world. And we want to say, although it's time for summer here in South Africa, There's a lot of winter in our towns. There's a lot of winter in young people's lives. But I've told them this weekend that your real life is not in the past, because your past cannot be trusted, because your past left you. You cannot even trust your present, because your present will also soon leave you. But this weekend's theme with these young ladies were that your real life is in the future. God bless you all. I want you to know that we'll be back next week, once again, Saturday evening at 6. And remember, it's time for change.